Welcome everyone. It's January 2021. Get excited, get excited. This is a new year and I hope that it brings peace, and I hope that we all get back together again and be with family and friends and just enjoy being with other people. That would be nice, huh? So this is January's book review. It is Forgiveness is a Choice by Robert Enright. I chose this book because I felt like we could start 2021 off with letting go of things from 2020, forgiving ourselves, forgiving others, and just kind of clear that slate. So if anyone doesn't know who I am, my name is Stephanie Lee. I'm an evidential medium and I do book reviews on books that have helped me heal on my journey and to become a medium. So let's get right into this. Forgiveness is a choice. There's kind of like three big major sections of this. They are starting on the forgiveness journey. What's the process? Like, how do you do it? How do you even forgive? And then digging in a little bit deeper. And I think the very last video that I'm going to do for this, because there are 5 weeks in January, it's gonna be a long month, kids, is just like a sort of a process that I go through for myself to do forgiveness. And I'm gonna kind of walk you through that process. It's kind of a visualization. There's a couple of ways to do it. So get excited for that as well. The end of January, because then it'll be February. Oh my gosh, can't believe it. So let's start in with forgiveness is a choice. It is a choice of yours to either forgive or not to forgive. My choice is always to forgive. So in this book, Robert Enright talks about working with people who have gone through this process and starting with them first to kind of give them the way it's supposed to kind of go. So like they'd go through the whole forgiveness thing and they said, well, it doesn't make the pain go away about the situation, but what it does, it kind of just makes it more bearable. So what they found out is that you can't just say, I forgive you, because if you don't really mean it, then it doesn't mean anything. You have to really want to forgive someone, and you have to truly mean it, and you have to work on all those emotions that kind of go with it. All the anger and the sorrow and the sadness and the hurt, all of that. You have to dig into that and figure out what is really causing all of your pain. And it could be the situation at hand, or it could be something from your past. So don't just say, I forgive you, because there's more to it. It'll just keep bubbling up. It'll still keep attacking you if you don't deal with it. So Robert Enright worked well with a Richard Fitzsimmons of the Pennsylvania Psychiatric, who had done some pioneering work in forgiving. And what Richard said was, by forgiving, you are helping to start releasing guilt and releasing fear and anger, and you become more emotionally mature. You are in control now because you know how to forgive. And so you're starting to release that anger. You're starting to release that fear, the guilt that comes along with the entire situation, right? It's really, really important to release that, all of that, because otherwise it's going to get kind of stuck. It could get stuck. It could manifest into health problems in your body, and you don't want that. That is not something, that's not a road you want to go down. I mean, to carry all of that with you, some people carry that, they don't forgive people for years, and they have health issues, and it is not something that I would suggest you do. I think you should go on your healing journey and start to release it, start to let it go. So what forgiveness is not. So some people are very apprehensive about forgiving because they feel like it's basically pretending that something didn't happen. when it really did happen. That really happened. It is not about that. It is not saying, oh, guess it didn't happen, so you're off the hook. That's not it. Forgiveness is about letting go. They're afraid that if they forgive, they're going to get hurt again, and someone's going to hurt them again and again and again, and that's not the case either. And it's letting people get away with it, and it's not letting people get away with it. It is not doing that at all. So the definition of forgiveness is you're acknowledging the offense, and you're also understanding that, yes, it was unfair. You are also knowing that you have every right to be angry, and that those people don't have the right to hurt you. That's kind of setting those boundaries, setting your boundaries, not letting people hurt you. If someone starts screaming at you, guess what? You get to walk away. You get to set that boundary. You get to say, I'm sorry, you cannot treat me like this. And until you can get to a point where you can talk to me in a normal tone of voice, I will be leaving the situation. So that is setting those boundaries. That is walking away from someone treating you inappropriately. And forgiveness is also about compassion and love. As you get to that emotional maturity, you become more compassionate and loving towards your offender, even if they don't deserve it. It's also a way of letting go. Every person makes mistakes. Everybody. You watch it all day long on the news. Everyone makes mistakes. So it's about forgiving and moving on. It's really more about you and getting rid of all of that emotion and stuff that's attached to that and letting go of it. So, forgiveness is not condoning or excusing what has happened. It is not forgetting about what happened. It is not justifying what happened. And it is not pseudo-forgiving. I forgive you. It is not that. Because the consequences of not forgiving is having all of that anger inside of you, having all that rage, and making it unhealthy for you. And then what happens is you tend to start to take that out on people that you love. Even though you don't mean to, it just happens. I can say, I've done that, and it's not a good thing. This is not something I'm proud of, and I have to go through and forgive myself. So it's not just also forgiving the person who offended you or took advantage of you or whatever they did. It's not just about them. It's about forgiving yourself. What role did you play in the whole picture, right? Or maybe you didn't. Maybe someone just sideswiped you, and that it just happened, right? But a lot of the time it is maybe part of what you did as well. So you have to forgive yourself. I had to forgive myself for many things, and I do it every day. Like, wow, that was not a good thing, Stephanie. You need to do it better next time. I forgive myself for not coming from a loving place. I like to come from a loving place. But there's this little naughty part of me too. And I'm not always loving. I will say that. I have to work on it. So in conclusion, it's not about condoning, it's not about condoning or excusing what happened. It's about learning from the hurt and the pain and letting it go. So just remember that. We all have forgiveness that we can do, and forgiveness for ourselves, to ourselves, and to be gentle and easy and loving to ourselves, because we are not perfect either. And boy, would that be just boring if we were all perfect, because it would be just la-ti-da, right? So just remember, forgiveness is a journey. And we're going to continue talking about forgiveness for this month of January. And we're going to go into deeper ways of how to forgive and questions to talk about and ask ourselves in the next few weeks. So again, it's 2021. If you want to get in touch with your loved ones and you want a reading with me, I would be more than happy to do that with you. In fact, it excites me very much to do readings. So please contact me on my page, stephanieleemedium.com. Set up a reading and off we go. till next week, think about who you need to forgive. Is it yourself or someone else? Take care. Bye.